If you've worked at a computer for any length of time, you've probably heard about ergonomic desk setups. Unfortunately, you may also think it's super complicated, super expensive, or that there's no point in trying unless you can have everything perfect. Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain 3 common myths that people think about an ergonomic desk setup that actually means that they're setting themselves up for more unnecessary pain in the future because they believe these myths. If you'd like to learn what these myths are and what the actual truth is, I'll see you in the rest of this video. Hi, I'm Katherine, the founder and principal therapist at Leighton Sports Massage, a multi-award-winning sport and remedial massage therapy clinic in London. In this channel, I share tips about how the body works and simple self-care tips and a little bit about the clinic so that you can live your life and enjoy your favorite activities as close to pain-free as possible. Let me tell you the most common myths that I see my clients believe about ergonomic desk setups around working at a desk or with a computer, and how that actually stops them from doing things that could help them. Myth number 1 is that ergonomic desk setup stuff is way too complicated and you shouldn't even attempt it unless you have an expert doing it for you. Now, obviously, if you have someone who is an expert, it's great to have them do it, right? They will definitely know details. They will definitely know details that you don't know. But that said, you can go a long way with your own ergonomic setup, just understanding a few basic facts. When you think about it, ergonomic desk setup is actually just really logical. When you understand how the body works and how you're supposed to be positioned at a desk, an ergonomic desk setup just supports your body so that you can be in that position more easily. So it's easier for you to be in an ideal position. So if you know how you should be sitting at a desk, which if you've downloaded our free posture checklist, you do know how to be sitting at your desk. And if you don't have that, I've put the link in the description below. Then you just need to move your stuff in a way that supports you. It's actually not super complicated. And this is why in the ergonomic desk setup training that we have, we first walk you through how everything is supposed to go in an ideal situation. And the reason we've done that is so that you can see that actually it's not super complicated. And again, yeah, if you work in an office and they have somebody who does that, definitely use the resources that you have available. But if you work for yourself, or if you're working from home and you don't have the resources to pay someone to come in and set everything up for you, learning the basics about ergonomic, learning the ideal setup means that you're better equipped to do it yourself. So that's why we've included that as like the first thing that we cover in our ergonomic desk training that we have. Have you been putting off assessing your desk setup because you think you can't do it unless you're like a fully qualified expert? If you have, let me know in the comments below. Myth number 2, all ergonomic equipment is really expensive, so I can't afford to buy a really expensive chair and an adjustable desk, so I just shouldn't try it all. This is kind of true in that there is some very expensive ergonomic equipment out there. Like if you look at a really good chair, you're going to be setting yourself back quite a bit of money. But just because that you can't buy the expensive version of the equipment doesn't mean that you can't use everyday things around your house to set yourself up. So this is why in the ergonomic desk setup training that we put together, it shows you how to substitute. So, you've gone through the ideal, like what is the ideal setup for yourself, and then how you can substitute it. So one example is if you need a foot support, you could use some thick books or a couple of reams of paper if you don't mind putting your feet on packages of paper instead of a footrest if you don't have that handy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's no benefit to having the right equipment, especially if you have a chronic pain problem. For example, if your wrist is really bothering you while you use the computer, it may be worth investing in an ergonomic mouse or an ergonomic keyboard. But I don't want you to think that just because you don't have hundreds or thousands of pounds to get a fancy desk and a fancy chair and like have all the space to put it, that means that you can't have an ergonomic desk setup. And you definitely can. Now, is this something that stopped you from helping your workstation set up if you're working from home because you just don't have the space or the money to buy everything? Let me know in the comments below if this is a myth that you have believed. Now, the third myth that I'm going to talk about today, and this is probably one of the most common ones I see across working with clients, is if I can't have everything perfect, there's no point in trying because it's not right. Now, this is something I see with clients all the time across the board, right? That if I can't do all of my exercises perfectly, I won't do them at all. If I can't do yoga every week, I won't do it at all. Like just all sorts of things. And I think that you kind of instinctively know, right, that that's not correct, that even going a little bit closer to ideal is better than nothing. But it's something I think sometimes we do subconsciously as well. It's like, oh, well, I can't do it perfectly, so I won't try. Like, lets us off the hook a little bit. But actually, there's a lot of things that you can do to simply adjust your workstation, like bringing your keyboard close to you. And so just as an example, I have another video that is 3 30-second workstation adjustments that you can do with no extra equipment. And it shows you really simple ways that you can update your workstation. And we even had clients emailing us after I sent out that video saying, this is great. I already feel better at my workstation. And it was that I don't think that I can do it perfectly, so I won't try. And then they tried these really simple tips in that video. And I'll include the link below if you want to check out that video. And it felt better. So that is why in our ergonomic desk setup training that we have, it walks you through really easy ways to what I call MacGyver your desk setup. Now, if you don't know who MacGyver is, this was a TV show, I think it was like in the 80s or 90s, and this guy could basically put together anything with like a paperclip and some masking tape. So you could take things that weren't really for that purpose and switch it around and make it useful for a different purpose. So that's why I call it MacGyvering your workstation, because you may not have exactly the right equipment or everything that you need, but it shows you how, like, let's say you're working at a cafe or you're working at home or you're traveling, and it helps to show you how to take pressure off your body. And we even had some feedback from one of our students in the No Pain at Work course who'd gone through the ergonomic training, and she said that when she was traveling for work now, she experienced so much less pain. Sorry, I know how to talk, I swear. So much less pain when she was traveling because of these tips. So just because you can't do it perfectly doesn't mean that you can't support your body more. Tell the truth. Is this something that you've been using to avoid having to look at your workstation setup and improve it? If it is, let me know in the comments. Don't worry, you're not the only one. Now that we've walked through these 3 myths, do you feel like it's worth working on your ergonomic desk setup, even if you're working from home and you maybe are just working on a dining room chair at your kitchen table? I swear you can improve your workstation setup, even if it's just that. So for your next steps, you've got a few choices. You can download our free desk posture checklist, and that just shows you how to put your body, and you may be able to work out a little bit about how to set yourself up at your desk workstation table with your posture being in alignment. We also have the 3 30-second workstation setup tips that I mentioned, and that's below in the description. And you probably guessed that I'm also going to offer you our ergonomic work setup training. It's 17 pounds, so it's one of our more accessible offers, and it literally walks you through what ideal ergonomic desk setup is, ways that you can adjust your posture, substitutions you can make. There is an equipment list of things you can buy, but there's also a way, like there's equivalences, so you know what you can sub it out for if you're trying to get it. And I also explain, like, let's say that you have to choose between one thing being in a perfect position over another, how to prioritize what's most important to be in alignment. So if you'd like that, I've put the link below. Like I said, it's only 17 pounds and you have lifetime access. So I think if you're working from home or in a less than ideal work setup and you don't have the resources or time right now to invest in someone to come and do a personal assessment, definitely check that out. And we do have a work from home online session that we will help you assess your workstation for you if you're interested in that. I'm putting the link below for that as well as soon as it's ready. If you have any questions about this, definitely let me know. If you would like help with more resources, that's cool. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has made you feel a little bit more confident in trying to make some adjustments to your ergonomic workstation setup to support your body and reduce some of the pain, regardless of whether you're working from home or in your office or wherever. Please like this video if you found it useful and share it with anybody you know who maybe is suffering working from home as well. And if you subscribe and ding the notifications bell, you'll see the next video when we bring it out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.